But if you don't choose something that's in line with my path, then we may have to go separate paths.
I'm reading right now Jack Canfield, and I'm sure you read
Yes.
his Success Principles.
I'm reading it. It's like my 4th time right now.
Well, I'm on the first one. I was like, so he's talking about like the feeling, you
Yeah.
know, even if you talk with others, it's like, I feel like you're not blaming others, you're not judging them. So I notice that I feel like, can you repeat it, please?
Yeah, so it's kind of like 3 steps. It's I notice myself thinking about feeling and then state the feeling. Upset or irritated. And a lot of feelings come from 2 different main feelings. One is anxiety and the other is anger. And so typically a lot of what you'll feel is going to be, AA, right? And so that's right. And then, so we have to think about what feelings we're going to come out of that. And that's what I do that helps. It helps diffuse that feeling of anger or anxiety a little bit. And that's what allows me to have that self-awareness to then choose something else natural. Maybe I breathe in and breathe out, go for a walk. You know, sometimes I call it like temporary repression, because I'll like hold it in for a little bit, and then when I go to the LVAC or the gym, I like let it go, and I like really, you know, pick up heavy things and let them breath. Oh no, not the whole time. No.
Okay, it's like breathe in, then I'm going to the gym. It's like, how long you can hold your breath? Well,
like the exercise that I teach about in my book is just you breathe in for like 4 seconds, and then you like hold it for a few seconds, and then you breathe back out for a few seconds.
They call it rhythmic or box breathing, right?
Ooh, I haven't heard of that phrasing, but
no. Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Sounds cool.
I think I read about it, like a rhythmic breathing.
Oh, okay, rhythmic breathing. Okay,
yes,
yeah.
It's
gotcha.
my accent.
No, that's cool.
They know me. My guys, they know me.
That's cool.
He just met me, so he doesn't know my accent yet.
I'm learning. Yeah.
Quick learner. But yeah, that's absolutely amazing, because then it's like you're not reacting right away. Because if you would be reacting on that situation, like getting cut off the road or in the line, or it really, it's not good for you, not just for your like ruining your day, but I know that on your health, it all piles up, all that anger, all that anxiety, we are keeping it inside because we feel guilty in being upset, because we know like, oh, I shouldn't be upset, oh, I shouldn't do this, and I'm doing it, so I'm a bad person, instead of just noticing it. And that remind me of another book. You can tell I like books, right?
Oh yeah, it's good. Books.
The Eckhart Tolle, the Now. And it's he's talking about like noticing, and I know Deepak Chopra is talking about it too, just being the observer in your life. So not feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm so upset, but truly I notice that I'm thinking, that I feel. You see, I got it.
Yeah, hey.
I got it, guys.
Nice.
I will leave it in a comment box later for you guys. But this is amazing.
It's powerful
because it really deattaches you from the instant reaction.
Yeah.
And usually when it's like instant reaction, it's not good.
Right.
I like doing like the instant reaction in the moments when people like ask me like, hey, do you want to do this or not? Before I start overthinking, I know it's heck yes or heck no. Then I go with that and I can elaborate on it. You know, because if I start overthinking, I should not, then I will not have time. Then I use that. But in most of our, life, it's better to truly reflect.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, introspection, self-reflection. I don't think it's done enough, and there's a lot of that. And the reason why I use the car analogy is because growing up, I had a number of different stepdads, and one of them always kept a gun in his glove compartment. And whenever somebody cut him off, he had a really bad temper. He smoked, he drank, so he had some maybe less positive coping mechanisms for dealing with his anger. He didn't go to the gym, he didn't do a breathing exercise, he didn't,
He didn't notice.
He didn't notice anything but the person cutting him off. And so a lot of times he would be like, when they cut him off, he'd be like, And then he'd like grab the gun, and he would sometimes chase the other car down and try to run them off the road. And I remember this growing up, and I was like, man, this is like my only experience of like knowing how to deal with road rage, I guess. And not that I didn't do that, but I was just like, I think my reaction was just like, I don't want to be like that, but I don't really know how to handle what the feeling, because when feelings come, they kind of like, they like sometimes can overwhelm you, and it's just like, how do you really have to have that self-awareness to be like, wait, there was that one exercise, right? I noticed myself thinking about feeling angry, upset, irritated, stressed.
So what does that do, for you? Because for me, like what I'm thinking, it's in that instant, I'm not involved in the situation, and I'm just the observer of the situation. And when you are not in it, you can think.
Yes, it allows you to almost like picture yourself, you're like maybe at a theater, and you see yourself on stage, and you can see yourself, outside looking in, like maybe on the balcony, and you're like, I notice myself on stage, and I'm not acting the way that I should. I'm not being my best self. I'm not, I'm not demonstrating maturity or something like that. And when you step outside like that, you're like, wow, like, it diffuses that feeling a little bit, just a little bit. I may be at like a 9 on the anger. That exercise may take me to like a 5. And
so by noticing yourself, would you just say that are using judgment? Like I'm not, I'm not acting as I should, or is it good because you detach from that feeling, or are you coming from the judgmental place?
The phrase that I use is just self-awareness.
Okay.
So the more self-aware you can be, because self-awareness is part of being reasonable.
Yes.
And reasonable is all about looking for the truth, seeking understanding, and finding solutions. And so when you're able to do that, then you can come to some, better behaviors, basically. So, yeah, I mean, when it comes to mindset and emotions, they all play a role. And I think, I know we were talking earlier about cancer, and for me, my dad passed away in 1997 due to throat cancer. Thank you. Yeah, he had an allergic reaction to the chemo, and then my mom had triple bypass surgery when I was 14, and she had a number of, she's on medications for blood pressure and cholesterol today. And so I saw an early death with my father and a diminished quality of life with my mom, and I was like, there's got to be a better way. But they chose the traditional route, and a lot of people do. And I think that's part of, I know we were talking a little bit earlier, I know a lot of people that I talk to may not be as open to something natural. They may think it's quackery, or they may think it's less legitimate because we don't have a doctor in front of our name and an MD behind our name, and we don't have a really big office, and we don't wear a white coat. I mean, you're wearing a beautiful blue dress with flowers on it today, not a white coat. And so some people may be like, it doesn't have those things I'm looking for that establish
expert, the professional, the what's,
credibility and authority, right?
But it's just so funny when you think about it, Lance, because what I think it's the people who are truly like healthy and vibrant and radiant, it's because nature, it's a huge part of their lifestyle.
Yeah.
I have a friend who is a doctor and who loves more holistic approach, so he would like to leave being a doctor, because he doesn't feel fulfilled in that. So it's just interesting that how the older generation might be looking at that. So let me ask you, because you know that I mainly work with millennials. How do you see the generation now? With the approach of the professionals or the natural things?
I feel like millennials are searching for purpose, significance, meaningfulness in what they do. And a lot of them, I know for me, that's one reason why I chose to leave my previous employer with PepsiCo, is because although the money was good, it paid the bills, I was able to save, there was always some element missing of purpose and significance. And I think that being surrounded by people that raised my average helped when I left, and started surrounding myself with people who were more entrepreneurial, people who had more of a value mindset, meaning they wanted to add value and contribute to the world with their gifts and talents and abilities. And I think that was the game changer. I know Jim Rohn's quote sticks out to me the most, which is, you're an average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So who are you spending your time with? And are they raising your average and making you better? Or are they lowering your average and making you bitter? And that's really the question I had to ask myself. And I've had to, basically change who I hang around with because of that. Because I had to surround myself with people who were entrepreneurial, who shared my values with regards to how I eat and how I live and stuff like that. Because, and not in a condescending way or like stuck up way. It's just like people can be a part of my life at any time they want. They have the freedom of choice. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
That's what's amazing about free will.
Yeah.
But if you don't choose something that's in line with my path, then we may have to go separate paths.
Yeah.
And that is a tough decision, but it's something that I've come to terms with. So I'm not here to be liked. I'm here to be, extend respect and impactful, right?
Yeah, I love that.